Tonight on CTV3 News, an elderly farm worker is stabbed in shocking attack over groceries. The 88-year-old is critical at the NRH. Also here in the North, cops are investigating a shocking child abuse. A mother is charged after inflicting bruises on 17-month-old son. And we will also tell you about the devastating fire on Sunday evening that has left two families without a home. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, February 24th, 2026.
From whiskeys and wines to elegantly crafted cocktails. Paired with charcuterie boards and perfectly seasoned steak bites, and much more. Perfect for celebrations, quiet nights, and every special occasion in between. 7 Notes Wine and Spirits, where every sip hits the right note.
ExpressNet now has up to 400 megabytes of high-speed internet. Choose the speed that fits you. From faster browsing to faster gaming. Connect more devices at once. Or bundle it with Express Plus and HBO Max. Internet and streaming entertainment, all in one.
Yeah, faster starts here.
Sign up today at any Centaur office or contact us to get started.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
We recently formed MOUs with the American Hotel and Lodging Education Institute, which is the education arm of the American Hotel and Lodging Association, and also with the American Culinary Federation to do culinary training. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments. This is not about replacing Belizean cuisine. This is about, we want the Belizean cuisine, we want the Belizean richness and diversity. Right? So this is about your skills. You all know what you all learned, so it's about transferring that skill.
We want to inspire this career because, you know, it's amazing. You love what you do, right? And it really is something that I think we can inspire other young Belizeans to undertake. And it's now part of your responsibility as those who have received this training and see a pathway for greater things.
Just to put it into perspective, there's only about 6,000 certified executive chefs in North America. There is only 69 certified master chefs in the world. There is less than 10 certified executive pastry chefs in this entire world. And now in Belize, we have 3 sitting in this room.
The Orange Walk Town Council is inviting applications from suitably qualified and motivated individuals to fill 5 garbage fee collector positions within our revenue department. Minimum requirements: high school diploma, friendly and people-oriented personality, tech savvy, must own reliable transportation, preferably a motorcycle, honest and dependable. Interested applicants are asked to submit the following documents: application letter, copy of high school diploma, valid social security card, 2 character references. Applications must be submitted in person to the Orange Walk Town Council office by February 20th, 2026. Join our team and contribute to keeping Orange Walk clean and organized.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. We start off tonight's newscast with the report of a disturbing act of violence where an 88-year-old man was critically injured after being stabbed multiple times during a dispute at a local farm on the San Lorenzo Road here in Orange Walk. The incident prompted an immediate response from cops and medical personnel. According to reports, Belizean laborer Gabriel Tech was attacked by an unidentified worker while at his farm. The elderly victim alleges that the assault was triggered when the accused him of stealing his groceries. The confrontation quickly escalated into violence, resulting in Tech sustaining stab wounds to his left chest and left arm. After the attack, Tech managed to stagger to the roadside where he collapsed. A passing motorist discovered him in distress and promptly transported him to the National Regional Hospital. Medical examinations revealed Tech was suffering from a punctured lung. The elderly patient remains in critical but stable condition. Report: a 28-year-old woman from San Jose, Nova Palmar here in Orange Walk has been formally charged with child wounding following an incident of alleged abuse reported in the village. According to police reports, officers responded to a call around 9:20 p.m. on Friday, February 28, 2026, after neighbors reported hearing a distressed infant crying loudly from a residence. Witnesses also claimed to have heard the child's mother shouting threatening language, stating she was tired of the child and threatening to kill him. Additionally, sounds resembling physical slaps were reported. When officials arrived at the scene, they engaged with the woman who reportedly admitted to hitting her 17-month-old son. She explained that the assault was triggered by the child's refusal to drink his milk. The young boy was immediately taken to a medical facility where a doctor identified multiple bruises on his back and left leg, bruising around his right eye, and swelling on his forehead, injuries that raised concern for abuse. The mother was subsequently interviewed via video and provided a formal statement under caution in the presence of a justice of the peace. Following these procedures, authorities sought guidance from the Director of Public Prosecutions. On Saturday, February 22, 2026, the woman was arrested and officially charged with wounding her young child. The case remains under investigation as authorities continue to assess the circumstances surrounding the incident. A devastating fire on Sunday evening has left two families reeling after the neighboring homes on San Pablo Street were destroyed and severely damaged while they were attending church. In a matter of hours, the Novello and Escobar families lost their houses, belongings, and important personal documents, turning what began as a day of worship into a night of heartbreak.
Two families are tonight facing the painful reality of starting over after a devastating fire on Sunday evening on San Pablo Street in the Uniontown area destroyed their homes and everything inside. The Novello and Escobar families, relatives whose houses stood side by side, were attending church when they received the alarming call that their homes were on fire. By the time they rushed back, the flames had already done irreversible damage. The Escobar's family house was completely destroyed, reduced to ashes. Next door, the Novello family's home suffered major structural damage, with the interior entirely gutted by the blaze. Today, the families were seen sifting through the debris, trying to salvage anything left behind. Emotional and overwhelmed, they say they lost everything: household appliances, clothing, furniture, and deeply personal belongings collected over the years. Even more devastating, they also lost critical legal documents, including identification cards, passports, and residency cards for several family members.
Pues primeramente los documentos que son bien importantes, en este caso pues los pasaportes que estaban vigentes, los acabábamos de sacar y los habíamos sacado en Express. Nos había salido un monto de casi como $1,000 en efectivo. Y pues teníamos también un pequeño gorrito ahí porque estábamos en planes de construcción en otra propiedad que ya estamos consiguiendo para nosotros. Y era una suma de dinero casi como $2,000. Y también se perdieron, ¿verdad?, roperos, camas, refrigerador, estufa. ¿Verdad? Es lamentable porque todo lo que teníamos pues es un costo bastante alto, ¿verdad? Todo requiere de esfuerzo, todo requiere de sacrificio para poderlo detener, para que en un término de 25 minutos todo se haya esfumado. No es fácil. Creemos, ¿verdad?, que podemos contar con la ayuda del pueblo para poder solventar nuestra situación. Los niños no tenían uniforme para ir a la escuela. Nosotros también quedamos sin nada, solo con lo que andábamos adentro del carro nomás. Pues no ha sido fácil, este proceso no ha sido fácil. Creo yo que con los tanques de gas y todo se hizo una pérdida como unos de $15,000 a $10,000, $15,000 a $20,000, perdón, por ahí, por todo lo que se perdió. Habían calzado que estaban nuevos también, que los habíamos traído porque habíamos ido a pasear a otro país, y pues la pérdida fue enorme. Pues para mi condición de económica, yo lo siento una pérdida bastante grande, para mi condición económica, para el estándar económico que yo tengo. Tenemos aproximadamente, nosotros somos 6 de familia, cuatro hijos y yo y mi esposa. Y enfrente acá con mi concuña Novello son 3, está mi cuñada y mi sobrino y él, ¿verdad?, que también perdió todo se quemó, y algunas cosas pues no alcanzaron fuego, pero están realmente destruidas por el humo, sí, todo. Incluso la casa, si usted hace una toma dentro de la casa se va a dar cuenta cómo se perdieron 3 ventanas de metal, que estamos hablando de una cantidad aproximadamente de unos $2,000, $3,000 por las 3 ventanas. Es una pérdida bastante grande que pues son cosas que va a costar responderlas, ¿verdad? y más que todo el estado emocional de uno no es fácil.
At this time, the family says authorities have not yet confirmed the cause of the fire. However, they do not believe it to be related to an electrical malfunction.
Pues ha sido una experiencia bastante difícil. No es como les dijera, algo que no lo podemos entender porque pues estábamos nosotros ausentes, toda la familia, pues mi hijo más mayor llegó y cuando él llegó pues ya uno de los cuartos estaba ya bastante avanzada el fuego. No creemos que haya sido nada eléctrico porque no dejamos nada conectado, todo estaba desconectado, las luces todas estaban apagadas y pues creemos que para que haya sido cortocircuito tenía que estar algo conectado.
Among those affected are 4 children, ranging in age from 6 to 16, now left without not only their homes, but many of the basic necessities they rely on daily. The families are appealing to government officials for urgent assistance in replacing their lost documentation, which is essential for work, school, and daily life. They are also calling on the wider community for support as they begin the difficult process of rebuilding.
Un llamado, ¿verdad?, al gobierno principal, ¿verdad?, y que nos concedan una carta por escrito para poder conseguir, ¿verdad?, que sea posible que nos faciliten nuestros documentos, porque no podemos estar sin documentos. Acuérdense que todo movimiento en Belice requiere un pasaporte, requiere, si es que alguien pueda, por ejemplo, en este caso, quiere directamente mandarle una ofrenda a mi esposa, no tiene ni un documento, ¿verdad? En mi caso, pues gracias a Dios, yo tengo mi Social Security siempre conmigo, tengo mi licencia de conducir, que yo siempre lo ando conmigo. En el caso de mis hijos y mi esposa están sin ningún documento. Había también un documento de una propiedad que la persona que me ha dado a vender el terreno ahí atrás, me lo había dejado conmigo para que pues yo ya lo tenga, para que cuando él venga, yo se termine de pagar dentro de un transcurso de tiempo, yo tenga el documento y vayamos a hacer los transfers. Y ya ese se quemó ahí también. Es un papel de propiedad, es una escritura de propiedad y pues también quisiera yo que el gobierno nos ayude con eso, ¿verdad? Y a la población en sí, pues si un abanico nos trae, no sé, de bendición, ya viene la calor y hasta eso se nos quemó. Y lo que Dios ponga en su corazón es bienvenido. Estamos nosotros humildemente para recibirlo y créanme que pues gracias a ustedes por estar aquí, por estar con nosotros en este momento tan difícil, tan duro, que todo, como hicieron las tomas al principio, todos ven como todo se ha perdido. Lo único que pues gracias a Dios vidas no apareció, a nadie pues salió lastimado de nada.
As investigations continue into the cause of the fire, the Novello and Escobar families are leaning on faith and the kindness of others, hoping that from the ashes they can find a path forward. Anyone who is willing to help the families rebuild can reach out to them at phone numbers 627-3335 or 605-2651. Reporting for CTV3 News, Norma Ruiz.
Coming up next, high-profile rape trial of prominent lawyer Erson O.J. Elrington opens amid courtroom access dispute over privacy and transparency. Stay tuned.
The Civil Registry Department and Vital Statistics Unit provides comprehensive information services to assist citizens in obtaining official documentation related to key life events. You can apply for birth, death, marriage, adoption, or deed poll certificates for records that have already been registered. You can also request tailored information extracts or certified copies of documents about specific life events. All Vital Statistics information services are available through the new Civil Registry and Vital Statistics System, CRVS. You can complete all services online from the comfort of your own home, or if you prefer face-to-face interaction or need additional support, you can visit their nearest office to complete any service. The new CRVS, digitally connecting citizens to all vital statistics services. Visit crvs.gov.bz today to access our services.
There's a saying I often return to, and that is a Chinese saying, that says, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Today, Belize chooses now because Belize has always lived under the shade of the tree. Remember Sobumbra floreo. Our forests, mangroves, rivers, and farms are not just features of our landscape, they are part of who we are as a people. They protect us from storms, feed our families, support livelihoods, and anchor our resilience in a changing climate. But we also know this truth. What we do not protect, we will eventually lose.
Greening Belize, 1,000,000 trees for climate and sustainable development. Our forest cover is declining, especially after the fire season. What will be achieved? Restore and reforested lands, significant increase in hectares restored by 2035. Enhance carbon sequestration. We'll have improved data, mapping, and reporting systems with this. Institutional readiness, feasibility study and design for a national forestry incentive program. Community mobilization, which will build capacity and increase participation nationally, and improve governance.
For all environmentally conscious individuals and groups, CBOs, NGOs, community organizations, universities, come in to do their part to plant trees to assist in the restoration initiative for the country of Belize.
When speed matters, every second counts. Get ahead with ExpressNet. Fast, reliable, ready when you are.
Six districts, one mission, eternal glory. The wait is over. On March 19th and 20th, the heartbeat of Belize moves to the north. The annual Bishop Cup is descending upon the Orange Walk district, and the stakes have never been higher. We aren't just playing for a trophy, we're playing for the pride of the nation. All 6 districts are converging for the ultimate showdown. The battlegrounds are set. Louisiana Football Stadium, where legends are born. Orange Walk People's Stadium, where dreams take flight. Expect lightning-fast footwork, bone-crushing defense, and goals that will leave you breathless. This isn't just a tournament, it's a war of talent, grit, and spirit. And when the sun begins to set on day 2, prepare yourselves. The championship matches will be a day to remember, a masterclass in football that will be talked about for years to come. Only one male and one female team will claim the throne. Who will lift the Bishop Cup? Orange Walk is calling. Will you be there to witness history? March 19th and 20th, the Bishop Cup. Bring your flags, bring your passion, and bring the noise. 6 districts, 1 champion. See you on the pitch. Driven by passion, united by the game. Unstoppable hearts go for the goal.
In a high-profile case that has garnered significant public attention, the rape trial of prominent attorney Erson O.J. Elrington commenced today in the High Court, presiding over Justice Nigel Pilgrim. However, the proceedings were marked by an initial dispute over courtroom access as the court considered whether the case should be heard in private. This morning, media representatives were barred from entering the courtroom as legal arguments were presented concerning the possibility of conducting the trial behind closed doors. The court addressed this issue before any evidence was introduced, focusing on whether the sensitive nature of the allegations warranted a closed hearing. In her submissions, the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, maintained that she had not requested any special measures under the Witness Protection Act, as there had been no objection during case management regarding holding the proceedings in camera. The DPP argued that conducting the trial publicly could compromise the pursuit of justice. She explained that the virtual complainant and others will be discussing personal matters, which she considered an invasion of privacy. According to the Crown, publicity might discourage the virtual complainant from testifying and could diminish the credibility of her testimony, while also infringing on her personal life and that of others. She described the complainant as a vulnerable witness and stressed that there would be no threat to public safety if the trial were held privately. Lead defense attorney Alifa Elrington emphasized that this case is unusual, noting that the defendant is a well-known public and political figure and therefore not a typical defendant. She suggested that alternative protective measures could ensure the complainant's anonymity, such as allowing her to testify virtually or via a secure entry point. The core argument from the defense was that, given the gravity of the charges, the public should have access to all relevant information, especially since the defendant had been subjected to intense media scrutiny at every court appearance. In response, the DPP countered that this is the same level of transparency the defense seeks for the complainant. The defense lawyer also pointed out that there has been no evidence presented of trauma or harassment in connection to the case. She further asserted that when considering a request for special measures, the DPP responded by stating that O.J. Elrington is definitely a regular defendant from the prosecution's perspective. The presiding judge has ordered the DPP to submit by noon on February 26th a written statement from the virtual complainant expressing her views on the matter and explaining why the court should exercise its discretion to grant protective measures under the Constitution. Oral arguments are scheduled for 2 hours later, and the judge is expected to deliver his ruling on February 27 at 9 a.m. Elrington is accused of raping a woman in her mid-20s, with the incident purportedly taking place on January 23, 2023. According to reports, the woman met him at a nightclub and later visited his residence where the alleged assault is said to have occurred. The defendant has consistently denied the charges. He was formally charged in March 2024 and has been released on bail set at $8,000. In response to recent reports of cattle deaths in the western region, the Belize Agricultural Health Authority, BAHA, in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and New Growth Industries, MEFS NGI, has confirmed the presence of anaplasmosis, commonly known as tick fever, in the El Pilar community of the Cayo district. The investigation was triggered by multiple reports from local farmers regarding unusual health issues and sudden fatalities among their herds. Following targeted field assessments on January 12, 2026, officials observed symptoms such as anemia and weakness, which raised suspicion of a tick-borne illness. Blood samples collected during these visits tested positive for anaplasmosis. Further sampling on February 4, 2026, from another herd in the same area yielded similar results, confirming that the disease is actively circulating within the region. Fortunately, at this stage, there have been no reported fatalities in the second herd. BAHA and the Ministry of Agriculture are now actively working to contain the outbreak, which is not expected to infiltrate in other areas, says Minister of Agriculture Rodwell Ferguson.
What we have done a test through Baja, and Baja recognized that it is caused by the tick, you know, the word tick that is on the animal that sucks the blood. And what that does, it allows the animals to become anemic. And then after a while, because of short of blood, they pass away. It has been addressed, and Baja conducted the test in 2 days and recognized that was the cause of it. And now we encourage the farmers to make sure they get the medication that is needed and to spray the tick on the area, because it's infested with ticks at the El Pilar area.
Is there fear of it spreading to other farms in the area?
At the moment, it is only found in El Pilar area, where the farmers work behind the tree.
So this is your
The authorities are urging cattle farmers in Cayo and neighboring communities to enhance their tick control measures immediately. They recommend implementing comprehensive tick management programs, including the use of approved medications and consulting with trained extension officers or Baja veterinarians for proper treatment protocols. Yakima Martinez Milian, ambassador of the Cuba to Belize, says despite ongoing challenges at home, her country remains resilient, supporting by long-standing international partnerships and genuine friendships across the region. Speaking on the current situation in Cuba, Ambassador Martinez Milian acknowledged that the island continues to face economic and social difficulties. Among the most pressing issues are shortages of fuel and essential goods, ongoing effects of global inflation, and the continued impact of external restrictions. These factors, she noted, have created strain on daily life and have contributed to periods of public frustration and uncertainty within the country.
How, as you everybody can see, the situation has increased a little worse due to the application of some new measures of the U.S. against Cuba. So we are trying to adapt our economy and our situation, internal situation, in order to affront this new message of this new situation that create the United States in the island. We are adopt some measures, some protocols in order to guarantee the continuity of the stability inside the country and also to maintain the principal service of the island, the health system, the water supplies, pumping, that are very important for our population. They also uh, even on this situation, our country is not paralyzed. We are working. We have the continuity of the population, his life continuity in a very difficult situation, of course, but the life of our people is going on every day, very hard situation, but our government continue working in order to adapt the situation of the countries of this new message of the United States.
Despite the challenges, the ambassador emphasized that Cuba continues working to stabilize the economy, strengthen public services, and maintain social protections for its people. She underscored that Cuba is not isolated and continues to receive assistance and cooperation from several countries, including Belize.
The government has implemented, as I commented before, some measures in order to maintain the continuity in the island focus, to maintain the health system. That is very important. We have some patients that are from difficult illness, and that is very important for us. So we are taking some measures in order to guarantee that every kilowatt go to the health system, and also measures in order to distribute the resources, thinking on the most vulnerable person on the island, and also with the principle of equity. That is very important in this moment. No, the assistance has not stopped. You can see in the medias, we received support from sister nations and solidarity organization. I take this opportunity to thank all the people around the world that support Cuba, that works in solidarity with my country. The government of Mexico is also very important for this thing at this moment. The people of Mexico also loves Cuba, and they shows all the solidarity and also all around the world. But we maintain the humanitarian aid, medical supplies, and also energy supply continue to arrive. Despite the restrictions, of course, of the blockade, and also to demonstrate that Cuba is not alone, that we have international support.
When asked whether it concerns her that CARICOM has not issued a unified public stance of support regarding Cuba's current situation, the ambassador said it does not. She explained that Cuba values the individual relationships it shares with member states and respects the internal processes of regional organizations.
Absolutely not. Cuba considers itself as a part of the Caribbean families. We have a very strong relationship with CARICOM that has many years, and CARICOM for us, we have a very long-standing moral relation. It's a parallel of our relation inside the region. We have always worked together in order to maintain the stability and the peace of the region. We recognize the support that CARICOM has given to Cuba in order to denounce and to eliminate the blockade. So our relation is historical, and also with Belize. We are in a strong relationship with Belize based in cooperation in some health issues.
Addressing concerns about Belizean students currently studying in Cuba, the ambassador assured that they are well cared for and closely supported. She stated that flight, travel, and communication into and out of Cuba continue without disruption, and there have been no interruptions affecting foreign students.
How is the Cuban government ensuring the safety and well-being of Belizean students currently studying in Cuba? And this is an aside, I don't know if you know how many students Belizean are there.
There are not many students, but one student is important for us. One international student is important for us. In Cuba, we have international students from more than 50 countries right now. So, but the safety of Belizean students is our national responsibility. They are there, they are part of our people, they are part of our family. So despite the shortage, the Cuban government provides the necessary resources, the necessary supplies that they need, and also we maintain the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Cuba, the High Minister of Education of Cuba maintains in touch with the diplomatic missions that have students in Cuba. They have meetings, so they are not alone, and of course we are care of them.
Martinez Milian also reaffirmed Cuba's appreciation for Belize's continued partnership, describing the bond between the two nations as a genuine friendship that has endured through challenging times and continues to grow.
Yes. Our connection remains operational despite logistical difficulties because there is very difficult night, but Cuba continues to be connected with the world and also with the Caribbean region.
What can you tell us about the Cuban Medical Brigade in Belize? Has the mission been impacted in any way due to the threats from the U.S. regarding the continuation of this program?
The Cuban medical brigades are an example of South-South cooperation. Of course, we reject attempts to criminalize our doctors. They have saved thousands of lives here in Belize and also around the world, and they are present here is a right to health for the people of Belize.
How does Cuba view its relationship with Belize during this period of regional uncertainty?
Well, Belize is a model of genuine friendship between two nations, two small nations. Our relationships transcend formal diplomacy. It is a brotherhood forged through years of mutual cooperation. And in these challenging times, the stability of our ties is a message of hope and peace for the entire world.
Are there ongoing cooperation programs that may be affected or reinforced by these recent events?
No, at this time. We are looking for new forms of cooperation and technical assistance, mainly to mitigate the effects of climate change. That is a very similar for us, and which has issue that affects country in the area.
What message would you like to send to Belizean families with loved ones either studying or living there?
Well, to the families, thanks for your trust and your children are growing in a country that even in its most difficult times remains attentive to all its citizens. Belizeans in Cuba are part of our people, I have said that, and I assure that the same will of freedom that made us a nation is what drives us today to care for them.
And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
The way some people are talking you'd never know, but the most blatant nepotism and fleecing of BTL took place under UDP when Dean Barrow was Prime Minister. Barrow placed his son Anwar on BTL's board in 2009 as soon as he nationalized the company, which would eventually cost Belizeans almost $650 million for shares barely worth $200 million. By 2014, Anwar was appointed executive chairman with extravagant salary and perks. Under him, BTL spent wildly on ventures that did not materialize and never brought any returns. Under the Barrows, BTL's profits plummeted from $38 million in 2009 to $17 million in 2019, and $10 million in 2020, as the company hardly paid dividends to government and people of Belize. Anwar Barrow has no moral authority to talk about BTL, as it was under his nepotistic rule, appointed by his father, that BTL was most blatantly fleeced.
They got so much things to say right now. They got so much things to say.
Basketball fans, the NBA season is back and more electrifying than ever.
Forever.
Witness every battle, every dunk, and every overhead and back pass with Centaur's Express Plus app. This season is a must-watch event packed with heart-stopping moments and unforgettable plays. Don't miss out. Stream all the action live on the Centaur's Express Plus app.
Drop James Harden's ass.
Express Plus, your front row seat to the 2025 NBA season.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
This building that we have gotten, the Welcome Center, is not just walls and it's not just here to beautify the Punta Gorda town and as an extension the Toledo district and Belize, but it's also here to play a main purpose and a role, and that is to continue to promote our tourism sector in Belize. This provides us a platform and a venue for us to be able to do multiple things in working towards enhancing the tourism environment in Toledo and really showcasing it not only to locals but also to our international guests, which are paramount for us to continue to grow this industry.
This project, like others that we're working on throughout the country, was designed and is being delivered by Belizeans. We have spoken to the communities, we've spoken to tourism stakeholders and what needs to be done to ensure that we have the necessary infrastructure to improve the quality of the visitor experience.
The government of Belize, through the Ministry of Economic Transformation, convened a climate finance coordination meeting on Monday, February 23, 2026, in Belize City. The meeting brought together key partners and stakeholders to enhance coordination and strengthen alignment across climate-related initiatives in Belize, including representatives from the World Bank, WB, Green Climate Fund, GCF, PACT, Development Finance Corporation, DFC, Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, Caribbean Community Climate Change Center, CCCC, and other line ministries. As Belize's national designated authority to the Green Climate Fund, GCF, and the Adaptation Fund, MET continues to advance a cohesive and strategic national approach to climate finance. The meeting focused on two primary objectives: improving coordination within the national climate finance framework through strengthened information sharing and priority alignment, and minimizing duplication across programs, projects, and financing mechanisms to enhance efficiency and development impact. Opening remarks were delivered by Dr. Honorable Osmond Martinez, Minister of State in the Ministry of Economic Transformation, and Carlos Paul, Chief Executive Officer. The agenda included presentations outlining the mandate and responsibilities of MET's Policy and Planning Unit, the role of the Climate Finance Unit, and an overview of the CVU's current project portfolio. Participants engaged in constructive dialogue aimed at strengthening collaboration, identifying synergies, and ensuring that ongoing interventions are effectively aligned with national priorities. Discussions also highlighted the CFU's project pipeline, identified sectoral investment gaps, and explored opportunities to improve the sequencing and coordination of partners' support. The Ministry of Immigration, Governance and Labor, through the Labor Department, has issued a statement to clarify the implications of the recent judgment delivered by the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, concerning severance entitlements in the case of Marin versus Belize Telemedia Limited, BTL, CCJ Appeal Number BZCV 2025/002. While recognizing the significance of the court's decision, the Labor Department emphasized the ruling pertains specifically to the parties involved in that particular case and does not establish legal precedents or claims beyond the scope of the litigation. Nonetheless, as with all CCJ judgments, the ruling provides an authoritative interpretation of existing provisions under Belize's Labor Act. The department reiterated that severance pay remains a statutory entitlement under Belizean law. However, it stressed that each employment matter must be assessed on a case-by-case basis, considering the individual circumstances surrounding each termination. Factors such as the nature of the termination, applicable employment agreements, and compliance with statutory requirements all play a role in determining entitlement. In addition, the Labor Department clarified that questions related to historical employment arrangements, payment of interest, or outstanding benefits should be addressed individually in accordance with legal procedures and the provisions of the Labor Act. Employers and employees are encouraged to engage in constructive dialogue to resolve concerns with the Labor Department, available to facilitate negotiations, conciliation, or settlement discussions. The ministry reaffirmed its commitment to providing balanced and impartial guidance to promote fair labor practices across Belize. It emphasized that all parties should exercise prudence and seek proper legal advice to understand how the recent judgment may relate to their specific circumstances. Members of the public seeking further clarification are encouraged to contact the Labor Department directly. The department remains dedicated to upholding lawful and equitable labor standards in Belize, guided by national legislation and judicial authority. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, February 25th, here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page or our YouTube channel at CTV News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.